Guys, what is up? Green Machine Sam back with another video. Today we have another episode of Washington Football Team Rebuild. This is season number 8 out of 20. Hopefully we get to 20 before I decide to quit, just based on progression, regression, and where we are at in terms of money. I have officially turned on coach firing, so if we do end up going bad or playing bad, we will get fired, and that will be where the series ends as well. The team's looking real well. We're in a contending phase for the team. We've drafted well, we've played well, we've gotten players on cheap contracts. Now we just have to put it on the field and hopefully get back to the Super Bowl. We've already won 2 Super Bowls in this rebuild. We won in seasons 4 and 5. We've made the playoffs almost every year besides, I think, 2 years? The first 2 years when we decided to tank. Definitely some players are getting older and slowly leaving the team. We lost Nick Chubb, we lost Josh Jacobs, we lost DeAndre Swift. We've lost some wide receivers along the way, including Scary Terry, but we do have Matt Phillips, Amon St. Brown, and Deontay Harris. We also have Verndon, a guy that we signed in free agency, who was only 21 years old and was like a 72 overall when we got him. We also have Stovall as a kick return guy, and Luke Boyce, somebody we drafted the year prior. We have Quentin Nelson, as well as Creed Humphrey, Terrell Henson, Earl Gordon, and we have Bobby Monroe. A lot of these guys do need to get paid here very shortly, so it is going to be a question of who do we want to retain, who do we want to get rid of. Ryan Whalen is a guy that's coming off contract this year, and stuff will change for him. We did end up bringing Ebicom and Dante Fowler in from free agency to hopefully be those backup edge rushers. Ed Oliver has been a staple of this team, so as well as Khaleke Hudson. Roquan Smith came in last year, and Cody Carter is our right outside linebacker. He's the weakest link, but he is still a great overall player. Deshaun Beckham and Jose Ramos have both been amazing. Kendall Fuller is back on the Redskins. He was here when we first got here. We did end up bringing in Adrian Amos, as well as some other defensive backs. Gordon Davis, one of the best safeties currently in the NFL. He's slowly progressing, and he is young still. We didn't get rid of Rob Otto and getting this kicker. I was in free agency, was looking through free agency, and he was a kicker with star or better development. And I'm like, we automatically have to pick him up. He's going to be better than Rob Otto in 2 years. If we don't pick him up, somebody else will, and that is something that has to happen. So we have Will Davidson out of Syracuse and J.J. Maynard out of, what was that? I have no clue. We still have Rucker and Brevin Jordan, as well as Pat. I don't know how to say his last name. You can call him Firmuth. I don't fucking care. I'm just going to call him Pat because it's easier. Dan Carter is our fullback. Saquon Barkley still leading the team as a running back. He's been absolutely amazing for us. He shows up every single year, putting up ridiculous stats. Joey Bosa, another guy that we brought in on a cheap contract. Well, we didn't bring him in on a cheap contract. We traded for him. And since there's no cap penalty or we don't have to take on his signing bonus, it is a lot cheaper. Keep that in mind. So some of these big name guys you're going to see and go, how'd you have that guy? He's on a cheap contract because he has no cap penalty. He has no cap hit. He does not have as big of a cap hit because he does not have a signing bonus. So Kendall Fuller will be playing that slot role for us, as well as Dalton Randolph. Teron Johnson's on the team as well. I think we ended up trading a couple people. I don't know when those will show up, but they will eventually. Remember, we do play about 1 to 2 games every season, not including playoffs. Playoffs are a different story, just depending on how far we make, because it could help. I did sign some practice squad guys just because I'm tired of them just signing 10 wide receivers that are just dog shit anyway. Because any of them that they do sign that have star are like 57 overall, and any that they do sign that are like 67 overall are like 24 as like a rookie. So Hawkinson we have to bring back. He's a QB of the future. He's 24 years old. In the next season, I will check on his brother, Ryan Hawkinson, on the Giants, because I know he's the backup to Trevor Lawrence. And if anything, I'm going to force him to be traded somewhere so that he can develop. Bobby Monroe, another guy that we have to bring back. He's going to be here for a long time. I think if he can get up into the 90s before he turns 28, I think his regression will slow down a little bit. So we trade Waylon, Young, and Teron Johnson for Dexter Lawrence, the second The reason being is because I need another D tackle. I thought if I could bring in another D tackle, we'll be set for this year, as well as those guys were coming off contract next year. I just didn't need them. Waylon, I think, is going to catch too much money on the market as well as Young. So just get us a 1-year rental guy, and we will be set. Saquon Barkley bouncing off some tacklers, making a big play, 13 yards there. Hawkinson going to run a play action fake here, booting out, trying to find somebody, trying to find Pat, but I guess the wide receiver will pick it up, Matt Phillips. At least I think I was trying to find Pat. Here we're going to run with Hawkinson, and we're going to dive because Madden's fucking not the smartest. They're definitely not the smartest game out there. Later on the drive, we're going to hand off Saquon Barkley. He's just going to reach for the end zone. I think these reach animations are just getting too much. Like, it seems like any running back is automatically picking up an extra yard if they go into one of those reach animations, which can be crucial because if I stop somebody behind the line, I want to have them be stopped. Like, I made a good play with a good player. Give me a reward, not give them a reward because they have the animation. And they're up 14-7 here. We have to battle back, of course, because, why not? They were second in division at this point, I'm pretty sure. So keep that in mind. I don't remember what the records were because this was about 5 days ago when I actually recorded these clips. Amon St. Brown's just going to catch another slant here, take it up the field, down inside the red zone. Later in the drive, we settled for a field goal, play action fake, rolling back out, and Rucker is going to go up and get this football. Surprising. He doesn't get any play time really, so him going up and getting that football is amazing. Saquon Barkley just bouncing off more tackles, scoring another touchdown. You can't contain him. You won't contain him. He's going to score. Going to hand it off to Barkley on a different drive as well. He's going to just find an open hole, and I think I should definitely tune the sliders a little bit. Hopefully give me a better fight in the games that I actually play. Just going to run a halfback wham here. Saquon Barkley, another touchdown. Simple, easy. He's the best player on the team. He's easily the best player on the team. He's probably the most valuable player too. So, just keep giving him the ball. Like, Hawkinson's good, but I don't think we would be really anywhere without him. Toller, the guy that I really, really like. He's a very balanced back. His lowest one is a 72 power back currently at the moment, I'm pretty sure. Which means he's very well balanced, and I think he can continue to develop and be very, very good. Yeah, 300 yards on the ground rushing. Like, even though we gave up a turnover, like 300 yards on the yard really just killed the defense. So, at the playoffs, we ended up going 16-0, and I'm actually going to show you guys the schedule to show you that I only played one game, and I didn't force any wins. So it's not like I was just sitting there going force win, force win, force win. I only played one game. We won the game. So it's not terrible. It's really not terrible. We played very, very well. There was multiple games where we scored 40 plus. There was multiple games that we scored 35 plus. So when your defense and offense click together like that, it's very, very hard to stop you. And we don't have to play in the wild card, which is great news. So looking at the stats, Hawkinson threw 4,100 yards, 29 touchdowns, 10 picks. Not bad. Definitely could do better in the touchdown department. I don't mind the picks as long as we can score some touchdowns. Barkley with 1,800 yards, 19 touchdowns. Toller with 600 yards, 16 touchdowns, both over 4 yards in average. Fletcher even got involved with 2 touchdowns. Dan Carter with 1. Dan Carter with a 3.8, which isn't terrible to say from the fullback, especially since he's probably just getting fullback guys up the middle. Matt Phillips with almost 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Pat with almost 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. St. Brown with 800 yards, 3 touchdowns. Harris almost 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. Brevin Jordan got involved as well as Saquon Barkley. Not great, but, it doesn't help that your quarterback's missing some throws probably. Cleek Hudson led the team in tackles. 25 tackles for a loss for Joey Bosa, 13 for Ed Oliver, 12 for Chase Young, 11 for Cleek Hudson, 10.5 sacks for Joey Bosa, 12 for Ed Oliver, 7.5 for Chase Young, 4 for Cleek Hudson, 6 for James Keelam, 1 for Dan Carter, 2 for Roquan Smith, and 2 for Dexter Lawrence. So I think I forgot to put Dexter Lawrence in at power rusher, defensive rush specialist. So I was like, how the fuck did he get 6 sacks. And besides that, like besides him like playing on those downs, like how the fuck did he get 6 sacks? He's only like a 79. Yes, he is a 79 power rusher, but that's still insane. Roquan with 4 picks, Kendall Fuller with 2, Jose Ramos with 2, one for Gordon Davis, one for Deshaun Beckham. So not a bad group overall. I would like to see some more picks just in general. But you know, if you don't even have to see picks, I guess if as long as you're shutting down the pass attack. Well, we forced 3 fumbles, didn't recover any of them. No block kicks, 2 safeties for Ed Oliver, and no defensive touchdowns. Yeah, because even I've said before, like I hate the excuse of so we had 1 extra point blocked, 1 PAT block, so he actually went 66 of 67 in my opinion. And what was that? Did he go 8 for 11 on field goals? So in reality, he went like 8 for 10, especially if it wasn't his fault too. So. Because I've always hated that excuse for corners, like, oh, he has a bunch of interceptions. That doesn't mean you're playing a good corner. That just means somebody thinks they can test him, which ultimately means that that wide receiver might have been open. Saquon was actually 3rd in MVP. We won Coach of the Year. We ended up getting Offensive Player of the Year for Saquon Barkley. Joey Bosa in at 8 on Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think we had any rookies on either side of the football, if I remember correctly. So, at least any starting. I think we might have had Luke Boyce, but he definitely wasn't getting enough time. We're playing the Vikings in the divisional round here. Good-looking team. Dalvin Cook still leading their team. Joey Bosa comes up with another tackle for a loss, so another one to add to his 25. And then Chase Young will get a sack. So, glad to see he gets sacks in the playoffs and not in the regular season, which is where I need him to. But I'll still take it. Finding Matt Phillips here across the middle, and he'll end up scoring on the touchdown pass from Hawkinson. Gonna throw it deep to Barkley. Barkley just burned this corner. I mean, this linebacker, and I knew I had one-on-one either way. And if Hawkinson would just put it deep enough, I could definitely get it. Because he has, like, I'm pretty sure, like, 90 throw accuracy deep at this point, and he has, like, 93 mid. So he's definitely going to hit the throw if he can get it there, and he has like 96, 97 arm strength. So he'll definitely make the correct pass, and he'll probably put it in a way where the Vikings won't be able to get it. They do end up tying the game here, 21-21 here with a rushing TD from their wide receiver on a 3rd and 3 when they have the ball. We are up 24-21. I actually decide, you know what, I have 3 timeouts. 30 seconds seems like a lot of time. Let's just go ahead. Let them score, and I will try to go down and score again. I do need a touchdown, though, so that is the problem. But they just left Matt Phillips open. And with that 96 speed, nobody ever going to catch him. So he's just going to take it to the house here. 1 streak, 1 play. We win the game. It makes it harder on them. I figured my prevent defense can definitely play. Because I was just going to maybe run some cheese plays. I was going to run some 4 verts, some PA crossers, and then one of the other plays that I like, it's like a play action fake with a 10-yard in route on the outside on the right side, a like slant post thing, and then a deep post. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you guys have seen me run it multiple times. They end up making a good pass here. They'd call timeout. They have 5 seconds left. They just didn't have enough time. And then I'm going to hit him, and then Deshaun Beckham is going to come up with the pick. Spoiler alert, Deshaun Beckham went off in these playoffs, just in general. He had a pick there. He had a couple tackles for a loss when even I was playing. They weren't great tackles for a loss. He even tipped a couple balls too. So it's always great seeing young corners prove themselves. Now in this, did I really not have any plays from the other game? Maybe I didn't even fucking record it. Okay, so we're in the Super Bowl apparently against the Baltimore Ravens. I don't remember who we played in the other game then. I have no fucking clue. I don't know. So apparently I just decided not to add it. So we ended up making the Super Bowl. Deshaun Beckham had a pick in the second playoff game as well. If that wasn't the second playoff game that we just watched. And this team, this Baltimore Ravens team, just could not stop Barkley. I'm pretty sure he ended up with like 4 touchdowns and over like 200 yards. And I'm pretty sure we just blew them the fuck out. because it's 17-0 in the first half, and they end up throwing a fucking just lob to Keenan Bradley. Like, I'm sorry, but when you throw a lob and Keenan Bradley comes up with it, you know you're in trouble. Keenan Bradley is the worst defensive back on the team that is currently starting. So when you do that, you're not gonna win the game. And then we're just gonna find Pat here. He's just gonna make a good play. He's like a low 90 as well. I don't know if we'll show the team in this episode or if we'll show it in the next episode. I mean, you'll definitely see him in the next episode. He is low 90s. He's getting real close to that 95 mark. Saquon with another touchdown. Saquon's just too good, and that was part of the reason why I didn't mind paying him that money that we just paid him, even though he is 30, is because I think he'll be good for a long time, and even if he's not, once he probably regresses, I think we'll go into a rebuild. Deshaun Beckham with another pick here in the fourth quarter, 31-3. The game's over. Lamar Jackson just blew it. He still can't win big games. It doesn't matter. I'm going to piss off some fucking Ravens fans with that. But, oh well. Minute left, 4th and 2. Let's go ahead and get this final stop. Roquan just going to expose a gap in that offensive line. Just going to come through, stop the running back, tell him to sit his ass down, and go home. I wanted to get Saquon Barkley another touchdown, so I was just like, fuck it, we're running the football anyway. So he gets up to the 4 here. Yeah, 37 rushes, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's about to make it 4, and he will make it 4 here. Dan Carter didn't even know what to do, so he just turned around and ran backwards. He was like, fuck it. There's nobody to block anyway. 4th rushing touchdown in the game, 38-3 here. We ended up beating the Ravens. We're back. We are Super Bowl winners once again. 3 Super Bowls in our 8 years. We've only been to 3 Super Bowls as well, so it's not like we're losing in the Super Bowls, so we're not going to get tossed around like LeBron James. It's been great so far. We have some great players. Hopefully we can continue to improve, get better. Yes, 16-0 is hard to get better, but it's going to continuously get harder because I think we have 3 O-linemen on payroll with another one coming up, so we're going to have to make a decision on what we want to do there. We have a QB that we're paying, a running back that we're paying. We're paying all 3 of our wide receivers decent money. We're going to have to pay Gordon Davis and Deshaun Beckham soon. It's just going to be a nightmare here soon, especially with contracts and regression, because a lot of these guys are getting up in their mid-20s, late 20s. So regression's going to suck. Paying people is going to suck. That's going to be the major downfall of the team. Like any team in real life, it's going to be who do you pay, much do you pay them, and how fast do people fall off. Like I said, Super Bowl champs once again, the Washington football team, so that's fun. Barkley, Hawkinson, Phillips, and what would that be? Roquan Smith up there. I don't think those 4 deserve to be up there. I think it should be Phillips, Barkley, maybe Pat. No, probably Barkley, Phillips, Davis, and Ed Oliver probably deserve to be up there. So, yeah, see, and this is why I fucking hate the 5th-year options. Like, Madden, you were so fucking stupid. They are talking about one of my starting corners not seeing the field. Jose Ramos, number 2 corner on the depth chart. They're like, he didn't see the field much. He didn't get much action. The fuck he didn't. And then Deshaun Beckham. Based on his performance last year, we don't think he deserves it. And then we are trading down the number 1 pick. We ended up getting the number 1 pick. So we trade down again, trade down again, trade down again. We just traded down. There was no great players. I didn't feel like spending money on players that I did not want, especially at positions that I do not need. So there was no point in taking players. Yes, I am losing assets in this sense, but there's no point in paying somebody $10 million a year just because they're the number 1 overall pick because I had the pick. There's no point. I may as well just trade down, take somebody else. We do end up taking Joe Shields here in 77 overall, number 4 in the class. Another insane player. So that might get rid of Earl Gordon and move Henson out to guard, or even he can move out to guard. It doesn't matter. One of them will jump up in overall. We do end up taking Eric Ash here. I'm like, maybe I can pair him with Keenan Bradley and see who develops better over the next year or 2 and see who we want to keep. But I'll probably start Eric Ash, to be honest, just because of his youth and is because of his contract. Some other of my players that got taken, which kind of sucked, but whatever. We do end up taking Noah Edson here. We end up trading the rest of the picks. Like I said, if I don't need somebody or if I don't want somebody, I'm not going to take them. It's as simple as that. I'll never understand somebody that just lets picks go to waste. Joe Shields, number 71. Don't know if I'll be center. Don't know if I'll be right guard. But with that being said, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Turn on post notifications to be notified every time I go live with a new video. Eric Ash going to wear number 38. Adrian Amos wore it last year. Amos retired, so we're going to put Eric Ash in that number. He looks pretty decent. Don't forget, subscribing is free. So if you guys want to subscribe, it is free. It'll support the channel. But that being said, guys, don't forget to go follow on Twitch for some live fun. But with that said, I'm out. Peace.